I'm here last week to lose it.
Listen, man. Listen, hey guys, welcome to Road Wrestling. We just debating right now about Wardlow, bro, and whether he got bitched out by Samoa Joe or not. In my opinion, he did. Homeboy beat his ass. Took his title, cut his hair, and then he had to get Darby Allin, some kid on a skateboard, to come save him. And that's
I don't. Hold on. I don't. I'm sorry.
It's not a prop, people. I don't think he had necessarily had Darby Allin save him. So I will say, okay, Samoa Joe beat his ass. Yes, Samoa Joe beat his ass. Samoa Joe hit nigga with a lead pipe, and then Wardlow tried to show some fucking guts or moxie or whatever the case may be. Like, no, I ain't no pussy. Like, I'm gonna fight. And then Samoa Joe then went out and they had a competitive match. It wasn't like Samoa Joe then like beat his ass backstage and then hold on. Go back to that match, nigga. Joe was on the precipice of the powerbomb symphony, if I'm not mistaken, of that match.
Precipice and actually getting hit is two different things. Precipice and then but here's the thing. You're right. You can say it was competitive. I think Joe washed him and then washed him after the match and then cut his hair. So
I think Joe washed him in the match. Okay, cool. So this is what we was comparing about. You say because Wardlow's compromised in a match, Samoa Joe beat his ass and then embarrassed him after the fact. He got bitched out. But here I am talking about Seth Rollins got a spot taken by a nigga that wasn't even in his company, got his ass beat 3 straight times. WrestleMania, Backlash, Hell in a Cell. The last one being to a one-armed Cody, and now he's fighting Logan Paul. He's not bitched out?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's all part of storytelling.
All right, man. Okay.
I mean, no, but here's the thing. You're out, I would say. You're out is that, yeah, he did attack him before the match, but everything put together. I mean, one thing, all right, you attacked him, cool. All right, you bitched him out backstage, caught him slipping, boom. And mind you, it's not like he didn't see him coming. Like, it was like he was in a program, and he just came and just took him out. He was like, in a promo, came and took him out. All right, boom. Got you. Got one up on your backstage. Then they have the match.
Baker got her suitcase taken from her by 2 bitches and thrown in her face. I mean, like, yeah, we can see.
I'm not talking about Britt Baker. I'm talking about Wardlow and Samoa Joe and what actually happened.
My man was in a suit having a backstage promo with Renee and like, yeah, I see Samoa Joe coming. You want me to jump? Okay. All right. Good job, Chidi. Book it, my man.
What do you mean book it? That's what happened, bro. Don't be mad at me for what they fucking did. Now, granted, at the end of the day, in the long run, we're just having fun because at the end of the day, the storyline is still working for me. I'm not saying it's a bad storyline, but I'm saying that that's the weakest we've seen Wardlow, and that's not even a question. Like after that was the weakest he's seen, and then he cut his hair. Like that's just disrespectful. And I think this is cool because Samoa Joe, we love him. He's great. But I felt like they used Wardlow's steam to give to Samoa Joe, then subsequently give that to Darby Allin. And now they're reversing the story, going back to Samoa Joe beating Darby getting the title back. And now we're going to see if Wardlow gets the title back again, which is like a long roundabout way to get Wardlow back his steam when we're talking about him being a main eventer when it started this year. So that's my whole thing. It's like looking at him as a main eventer, I think that was a little bit too weak for him. And that's all I was trying to say.
How do you write Wardlow off of TV? Count how many baby faces there is on the roster that's above Wardlow. Legitimately. Like, yes, MJF is the champion, but we got Heyman Page, Moxley, Daniel Bryan. Where does Wardlow? I mean, like, and when we say,
I mean, you can argue Darby, Ricky Stark. You can argue those guys. I mean, depending on who you like.
So when we talk about like that's a very stacked babyface roster. Now I hear you, Joe. I'm not arguing the fact that Joe beat his ass. That's not what I'm about. I do think an ass whooping isn't. I do feel like because how you say it, like, yes, we are having fun. We're just talking shit, but how you say it is how we perceive it, right? Rich too, right? If you say this nigga got bitched out, your perception of Wardlow is like, man, that nigga ain't that tough like he say he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just you. Like the generality of it, you know what I mean?
I think when it went too far for me, it went too far when Darby Allin saving you. Like if even he took him out, cut his hair, and he ended the show with him holding his hair. I'm like, damn, this dude took his hair and everything, and then Darby saves him, and all that he goes, like what? That was what got me, all of it together, and then Darby beats him for the championship, and I'm like, damn, Wardlow just came kind of irrelevant at that point, and I know he was off TV. I'm not sure why.
Wardlow and Hobbs, bro. Wardlow and Hobbs.
Yeah, Hobbs too. So, I guess that was for Darby to win the title in his hometown, have a couple matches, take the title overseas, to come back and lose it again to Samoa Joe. And mind you, the match was great with Samoa Joe and him, but it just the way that it went down, I thought was interesting.
I think and combined with I mean, if you want to say combined with everything, let's just less business and logic, right? Or just how we shoot the shit. Darby, first time going to Seattle. Darby's from Seattle, Daniel Bryan, right? So and also Darby really didn't get a chance to touch the crowd like Moxley and Sheeta when they was champion, holding it down. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that just to give him and them that feel, that you know what I'm saying, like that moment, you know what I mean? And I do get it, like it feels like a hot shot, but a month run for Darby didn't do nothing. Joe getting it back in the hellacious match doesn't do nothing. Now at the end of the day, let's reverse pivot, right? Darby's getting his ass beat at the end of the match. Sting, old ass, ain't come out there to help him. Who made the save? Wardlow, right? And it's like, it's not a tit for tat thing. It's just a baby type of situation, right? I think with Darby, quote unquote, saving Darby's whole school, right? The school kid, he don't fuck with bullies too much, right? And I know the championship was a vehicle to that, which I can see like that. But I think if Darby really never got his TNT shine, right? He got the title taken off of him. He's seeing so, and it's not that I think Wardlow had to have Darby save him, because it's not like this is Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, right? It's not a tag where somebody saved the other. I think it was, if Darby didn't come make that fucking save, does he quote unquote jump the line, right? Is he able to bend? Because he's meddling around, right? We mentioned he's one of the top baby faces, and he's doing mad random tag shit with Sting, right? He hasn't been significant, right? He hasn't been quote unquote a pillar. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't been shown as one of those ones. So I think that was a great reintroduction to Darby Allin, because he snuck up on Joe. Joe caught Joe off guard in the match because Joe was vindictive, lost the match, and then when they went into the real element of a jungle, a fucking tiger in a cage with his Joe, I'm gonna beat your ass, nigga. I'm gonna beat the shit. You can get your shit in. I'm gonna beat the shit out you, nigga, and take my title back. And I fucked that quote unquote little mini storyline. And also, I think I called it, man. I said, yo, Wardlow, that TNT championship was beneath Joe. I mean, was beneath Wardlow, right? He in the essence said it. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
he did, but he's going back for it. Like, and a matter of fact, and he can't lose to Samoa Joe, so he's gonna be TNT champion again. And like, if you're looking at the tea leaves, for me, I think that's the only way that this ends up. That's the only way that this can go, is for Wardlow to beat him for the TNT championship again, and then maybe we get Hobbs.
I know. I think I know. I will rebook it. Give me that triple threat again, and have Hobbs win it.
Okay. And I haven't seen Hobbs. What's he doing? Like,
she getting jacked. You ain't see that picture? That nigga got a body on a body, nigga. That nigga is living.
He's always been jacked. Like,
he bigger than big, nigga. I don't even know what that is, brother. Like, that nigga is bigger than big right now, bro.
But yeah, I mean, they're keeping him, quiet though. It seems like, I haven't seen him. I know he had like a match a couple weeks ago, but maybe I'm missing Rampage because I haven't watched Rampage. Maybe he's there. Yeah. I think Wardlow and Samoa Joe is gonna end up with Wardlow being champion.
I would love for the promo they cut, right? Joe cut a promo. It's like, I'm gonna take everything from you, right? Joe and Wardlow have a match. This is me booking again. I don't know. Joe and Wardlow have a match again. Hobbs come down, get his just due, interrupts the match. That match doesn't have a finish. We rebuild for a triple threat at Revolution. Hobbs gets made as a made man. Joe can be out the ring right? Wardlow done got pinned. I'll have Hobbs pin Wardlow, right? So now we can go for a feud of Wardlow and Hobbs because last time Wardlow was like, I lost my championship because I wasn't pinned type shit, right? And that triple threat. I will have Hobbs win it in a triple threat over Wardlow and then go for that feud right there. Because Joe really can lose and be like, y'all niggas can have it, man. Because at the end of the day, I'm also looking at that Ring of Honor championship that Joe has to be included in something. Right, like that's.
I think so too. But it seems like they only care about it when there is an ROH championship match. So I'm like pay live event or pay
those feuds have to matter at some point. You can't just pick challengers out the ass every single time.
That's what they're doing for every championship of ROH, honestly.
No. So okay, so Serena, I would say so. The Serena Mercedes was good. Right, and then you got Mercedes and Athena was good, right? The story
they like to tell the stories in packages like a week before, 2 weeks before, and that's what they do, and that's cool because I mean you can choose somebody and tell a story. Anybody can do that. Like I can pick 2 guys and make a story. I can write that shit, But that's what they do. They don't build it on TV.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think Ring of Honor needs I need somebody from Ring of Honor to show up on AEW and point to Joe, right? And build again, they did it with Claudio and the Ocho, you know what I'm saying, with Chris Jericho. Like you can build a feud within the TV show to give Joe something to do. Because I thought it was an issue to have him have the king of television, but he was only not really on TV, right? The nigga was the TV champion with ROH and wasn't on TV. You gonna give him the television title with TNT? It wasn't on TV. Like, no, man.
Yeah, that was a little weird, Yeah, but
so I would say I would love for Hobbs. I would love for Hobbs to integrate himself, interrupt that match, and let them niggas know, like, y'all not finna overlook me yet, right? Like, y'all niggas not finna overlook me. I want my pound of flesh and give it to me in twos. Niggas see me in Revolution.
I need Hobbs and whatever they're doing with Samoa Joe and Hobbs to escalate, and I need it to be like a good match because I think that we haven't had that real big clash with them. The match was decent, but he was injured. So him coming at it with
quote unquote selling, he was selling.
He was selling, So I want at full strength, them put on a full match, So we're looking forward to that. Now, if we're gonna keep going with AEW, are we actually started the show yet?
Fuck it, man. Let's go. Yeah, hold on. Let me. You know what I'm saying? We are live, pal.
I got what would have been our pre-show banter, but what we've learned and noticed that we can't give shit away. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it. We just going ahead live. Now the show's gonna start right now in 3, 2.
It's simple.
Yo, what's going on? It's Item Most High, breaking every YouTube law that they sent over to a motherfucker, told us that we not supposed to do. Clearly, I don't think I'm supposed to be smoking or rolling joint or cussing on this motherfucker, but here we are, the Most High, One High River Wrestling with my tag team partner Chitty Bay. What's going on, brother?
That's why they call it the underground of professional wrestling podcast. They don't call us the top of wrestling podcast. We are the underground because we don't give a fuck. We come out here, we talk our shit, we smoke weed, we roll up on camera, we curse, bitch, nigga, all that shit is here. We don't care. So welcome to the family.
I'm gonna be on there like, you don't care about kids watching. Listen, I told my nephew ended up watching the show on time, and I had to tell my brother, you know your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jameer could watch on his own volition. Nigga. Like, you know who I am.
Listen, man. I mean, we got a vault of us saying crazy shit, honestly, flagrant shit. But hey, this is what we are, is what we will be, and at this point, It is what it is. So if you're here with us, thank you for joining the family. We are here, the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. If you'd like to join us on the medias of socialness, check us out on Twitter, RW Podcast One. Check us out on the medias of socialness on Instagram, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. We're here on YouTube, Reasonable Wrestling. And if you're on Spotify, salute and thank you for listening. And all the podcasts, wherever your podcasts are podcasted, all you guys, thank you for listening to the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. But yeah, we're here to talk the week that was professional wrestling as always. And me and Chris were just talking and debating about, if you guys heard, the Will Hobbs, well, no, the really the Samoa Joe Wardlow angle. We probably wrap that up. We got our takes on that. I still think he got bitched out, but hey, we're here to debate it.
That was a reasonable debate for those who are OG Patreon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? we should have put on a bottom scroll. Did Wardlow get bitched out as a?
We should.
That's going on the poll. About to put on the poll right
now. I think if we did it earlier, like when it actually happened, it would be more fair. But at this point, where Wardlow he returned, got the new cut, people were like, no, Wardlow's just fine, probably. But back then, when it happened, that shit got bitched out. So. But listen, at the end of the day, in wrestling, you can always recover, and especially a star like Wardlow, a guy who has it all, the look, the size, all that, to be a huge main player. He's not going to suffer from it, especially it being Samoa Joe. It's not like he got bitched out by fucking Sammy Guevara or something like that, So when it comes down to it, I'm looking forward to the match. Hopefully that they can escalate this feud and give us something of worthy in the next AEW pay-per-view for the TNT Championship. Like I said, I think Wardlow will be champion again, but we'll see. I think he is, but like Chris also said, it is beneath him. He needs to go after MGF sometime this year. Moving along, AEW. I got a lot to say about the show because it's like, here's the thing, and we all know about AEW being a great wrestling TV show, but when it comes to, but I think we got to come to accept that sometimes it can be like so close, but so far, like you're so close of making it perfect, and then but they miss it like by a mile, And you mentioned the women's division, and it's like, man, you get Saraya Paige from WWE coming to your company, and she's immediately a huge star, immediately getting huge pops. She hasn't wrestled in, I forget, God knows how long, in many years. Finally has her first match with Britt Baker. Immediately has fanfare, babyface potential to be your top babyface in the women's division. And what they have done with her thus far has bastardized everything we saw prior. Her heartwarming return, and it doesn't do it with any reason or rhyme or reason to it. That's the thing. If you're going to turn somebody heel, there should be a reason for it, rather than we just like being bad.
Tony Schiavone, like we should have had something. Like it should have been something to show that Saraya was going to be nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Saraya was going to have an attitude change. Like nothing indicated.
It's random.
She was going, super random. And then also her and Tony Storm's befriending of each other was just like super random as well.
Random. And they turned Tony Storm too. Like it's like not even like they turned them on each other. Like they just turned both of them. And then by proxy, I guess that makes Britt Baker and her crew the baby faces. And I'm like, what is going on here? You got your top heel and Britt Baker playing best friend to Jamie Hayter, the women's champion. And this whole thing looks like a mess to me. And now I'm not trying to shit on the women's division because I think they're supreme athletes and they're putting on great performances in the ring. I mean, Jamie Hayter did drop Allie on her head pretty viciously to end that match the other day. Yesterday.
Listen, I hear you on that, but turn your hips, girl. Get your
is her name the bunny? Yeah,
it's the bunny.
Yeah, the bunny.
I think that was Jamie's a good worker. I think with that spot, with that spot, honestly, it was probably like a confusion. Like, oh, you going for what? Or going for that? Or again, like I said, just body control not getting over. But they had a good match prior to. Like it was hard hitting. The Bunny doesn't mind putting herself through physicality. Jamie Hayter does not mind being physical at all.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love how they work. Just that unfortunate spot right there, kind of, you know. If it would have happened in his match, we would have said the same thing.
It's not. I'm not trying to make it
right for sure.
Like,
No, for
seem
sure.
like she's like injury prone or something like that. But I'm saying that they did have a good match. The women are competing. They're having great moments in the ring. But this storyline is complete dog shit. And it like seeing Paige and Tony Storm play like fake bad girl and spray paint L's on people for no fucking reason that makes no fucking sense. It's complete dog shit. So sorry, but you guys are my low light of the week. Like that. I mean, we'll bring that back. Shit, the low light of the week is the women's division in AEW. I agree with you 100%, Chris. They need a lot of work on this shit.
And to be quite honest and fair, like the division didn't need the swap. I can understand the story. Okay, listen, if y'all want to break down wrestling psychology and book into me, fine, fuck it, have at it, right? Because a lot of people love to do that online. I get it. Those are AEW originals. Yes, AEW originals. It didn't fucking matter. Britt's a heel. Period. Like that's just what it is. Like that. I don't like who gives a yes. Those who come in to AEW from other companies get positioned some ways the way like that's just what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so they don't have to be the outsiders adjacent because they're not. They're
you guys
not
were cheering them when they came, and both of them huge pops for both Tony and Paige.
Tony was the champion, a huge
she was a champion.
champion.
She was a babyface champion. If you guys were telling this like AEW original storyline from jump, it's one thing. I'm like, oh, okay, I can accept it. But when it's completely randomly forced down your throat, and mind you, I didn't even know that was a story. Like, I mean, maybe you're making that up. If these people online are saying that, I'm not seeing it on TV. That's not. All I'm seeing is Paige, randomly attack people and throw L's on their back in green. Like, what the hell is this?
Is it L or XL?
I don't even know. Like, it's just spray paint all over this. He's just spray painting bitches. Like, I'm like, what's going on? So, and it's like, that's what I feel like I miss a week and I don't know what the hell is going on sometimes in AEW. If you miss a week, yo, better hope that, it falls in line with the past week.
You better
One thing I guess
Excalibur give you a fucking recap, nigga.
Yeah.
Damn.
But all in all, like that's my low light. But all in all, the show was good. I do like
the show was wrestling centric. So let's first and foremost give them props for that. They started off the show with
always is.
MJF and
Takeshita.
Yes, thank you, man. I was filtering through Japanese names like, yo, is it this the right one? This the right one? This the right? No, that's the right one. No, I didn't want to be ignorant, but shout out to. All right, so they start off with a banger, right? And MJF, I won't say surprise me. I won't go to that. I won't go that far and say surprise me. But in the manner of which he worked, right?
Guy's great.
The guy's good.
The guy's great, man. Not just good. Yo, you do a backflip off the fuck. You get a lariat from the top rope and land on your feet and then hit a super kick. That was the best spot of the night, the entire night. Yes, and we in the same night of having the Elite versus AR Fox, who's incredible, and Top Flight, MJF pulled off the spot of the night. I'm saying it right now, and it's not a hyperbolic statement. Go back and watch the entire show. I mean, I love the main event. And I do want to see that happen again. But you tell me a better spot than what happened with Takeshita and MJF.
Roosh suplexing Daniel Bryan and blood spattering on the fucking camera, nigga. What are you talking about? That was an all-timer. Like, I wanted to let you finish. I wanted you to completely land. I wanted niggas to deplane. I wanted the fucking pilot to grab his suitcase, and I wanted to take the keys out of the engine, and I wanted to be like, nigga, did you forget that Daniel Bryan blood spattered on the fucking camera?
I did not forget that. No, I did not forget that. That was incredible too.
That spot was amazing.
Yeah, but it wasn't like they planned blood to splatter on the camera. That's what made it special. We've seen a suplex, off the ropes,
Yeah,
off the
I
apron a
know.
million times.
We've also, and that's what made. That's what I wanted to say. We've also saw the quote unquote acrobatics of people doing like, oh shit, back up off the foot, land on your feet. Like, I don't want to make it seem like that is abnormal, right? It's just like I don't want to in basketball reference or football reference, right? Let's not disrespect Patrick Mahomes and think this shit is normal, my nigga. Like, nah,
Yeah.
nigga, like this isn't normal. This is like MJF has unbelievable wrestling acumen and ability and skill. I don't want to take away from that.
I
Also,
did not expect that from him,
that
honestly.
was not, I did not either. That was not a run in the mill spot for him as well.
Mhm.
So I don't want to take that away from him. In totality, though, the match, he worked a well enough match to where the pacing of an Iron Man match doesn't feel like that is going to suck the life, right? He didn't parade around. He didn't work a leg. You know what I'm saying? He didn't
He worked the arm
wrestle.
though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
He worked the arm though.
yeah, I mean, but even with that, the offense was still um less meticulous and more what's the word I'm trying to look for? Forthcoming, right? In boxing, you can tell when a guy in boxing is like, I just don't want to be hit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be. I'm gonna keep you away. I don't want to be hit. You know what I'm saying? When you got some boxers that go straight in, we're gonna go. MJF had a balance of both as a wrestler, especially working that because it wasn't like he went after it, right? It wasn't like that's my. He saw it happen, boom, that's my right. The instantaneous of a wrestler, right? The shit that you see worked with the whole match, but that wasn't the focal point of throughout the match, which it was though. He still, it was to me, it was a well organized match that still has some quote unquote choreographed spots that made it seem like it was still a wrestling match, right? Because we get too many of those flippy flip moves, super kicks, bouncing off the. We get too many of those the match, but they used it well. The psychology of the match was really well, and I want to give credit to both competitors. But MJF is getting praised and ridiculed by not the fucking match, right? It's the goddamn promo that this nigga did. The Katie Vick esque promo that my nigga. I mean, granted, he ain't try to have sex with her while she was dead. Triple H, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that this nigga said, "I'll put my finger," and everybody was like, my thing is like, yes, it's despicable, but did you actually hear him? She wasn't dead. She was breathing. You know? So please, it was not murder, folks. All right. Everybody's like, MJF just committed murder. No, he did.
I think that is going to be a routine of MJF trying to find the most outlandish thing to say to get people to react the way that you guys are. Even like the last time, he cut a promo on Takashita, you came in like, I'm done with MJF. But people, at the end of the day, we can still recognize the talent. I think, like I said a long time ago with MJF, he understands the current day of wrestling and how to get a rise out of people. The promo was distasteful. Absolutely, but I'm not surprised, So for me, I was like, all right, let it fly. It's a story. The thing about MJF is like, he's like, honestly, Triple H didn't fuck no dead girl. I mean, Kane didn't fuck no dead girl. It's his story. MJF is telling a story. Now if this really fucking happened, then yeah, it's despicable. Like if he's telling the actual life story that he went through and did, it's sick, to do that. But that's how he crafted it to make people feel like he's an extreme scumbag.
I don't know if it's true or not, but a lot of niggas is stating that people actually went and called and reported this to have this investigated to see if it was true or not. I don't know if the internet is internet right now, but you know what I mean. But if the fact that this nigga can elicit some shit like that
The
because
fact that people are even trying to look it up and all that stuff means that there is something he's hitting a nerve. I will say that, So
yo, the fact that niggas be like, yo, I want to prove that this nigga's a fucking dirtbag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
granted, we live in a gotcha culture anyway. You know what I'm saying? Where if we can find anything about you,
Of
we
course,
can use it
yeah.
against you, of
Of course,
course. You know what I'm saying?
people are going to freaking stalk people and try to cancel them no matter what they say and do. God forbid I say something crazy on this podcast, and then 10 years down the line somebody says, "Hey, this is what his thought process was." Listen,
it all depends if niggas watching our shit or not. You know what
true,
I'm
true.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Uh, bear with me one time, down. This is the doctor. Let me filibuster one time. Well, she called me 3 times in a row.
Okay.
Hold on.
While Chris is taking a important call, we will give this a quick hiatus, and we'll be right back with you with the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for listening.
He's tired. We're live, pal. Thank you guys for holding the main. You know, when you're a veteran, you gotta answer those calls. Shit, I need my money on the first. I don't know about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I just want to let y'all know. Also, these hoodies were available for Royal Rumble, but they still are available. You know what I'm saying? It is still hoodie season. So if you want to purchase a hoodie, get down at eiwshop.com. You know what I'm saying? If you want to smoke like a big dog, if you want to smoke a Ayatollah, make sure you go to eiwshop.com. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be bringing some more cannabis related content and things along the way. I'm actually going to uh, get back into joint rollers rotation and try to reach out to wrestlers and content creators of the such in the wrestling community that get down with the cannabis consumption. You know what I mean? So I want y'all niggas to stay tapped into that. And my nigga Chidi Bang is back with our very first t-shirt that I think we've ever created. Scratch logo, everything is wrestling. Yo, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Um, everything is wrestling. Shout out to the shout out to the homie. You know what I'm saying? When we seen it, we knew instantaneously what it could be, what it should be, what it is. Be on the lookout, please, and support, please. You know what I'm saying? For everything is wrestling merchandise. All right.
Listen, eiwshop.com. Check it out. But yeah, don't worry, man. Everything's wrestling is still on up, still up. So when it comes down to AEW, I think that's where we're at. You mentioned MJF kicked off the night with Takashita. I did want to show some love to Daniel Bryan and Roosh, like you mentioned them as well. Great match there. It looks like Daniel Bryan survived, and he will be facing MJF in an Iron Man match at the next pay per view. Um, we'll see how it goes down. I'm curious to see what happens, but we'll go on to say that You know what's funny about Daniel Bryan? Seth Rollins recently put him in his Mount Rushmore. He said like by I think when it's all said and done, Daniel Bryan's body of work is going to be up there with the Eddies, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart's. So I think we think that's undisputable. I think that's true.
I'm gonna be quite honest, man. Like Brian Danielson is above Eddie. Um, he's above who else name you put in there?
Shawn Michaels and Bret. It's arguable.
If we talking about top 3 technicians in the history of the business,
We're talking about just best wrestlers.
I know.
Yeah,
best wrestlers take Brett. Best. It's Brett. It's Kurt. It's Brian. You rank them.
Mm-hmm.
I think body of work, longevity, stories, moments, bouncing around to different companies. That nigga Brian Danielson might top that list, bro. I don't know.
So
like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
he's getting there.
Like niggas is like, yo, Brian and Jordan, like, bro, okay. We're not gonna get mad at niggas for longevity, okay? Like
yeah.
Niggas out the game.
Get penalized for being
Brett, you was great in your time. Kurt, you was great in your time. Yeah, but we look at Steve Austin, you're great in your time. But if you talk about the whole body of work, the stunning Steve, the Hollywood blondes and the stuff, bro, that shit don't match up with the American Dragon and motherfucking yes movement and the hemp championship. Like my nigga did some shit, brother. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
everything he's done with the Miz, everything he's done with Brock Lesnar, those matches. Oh my God! Everything he's did. I mean,
Ring of Honor champion, heavyweight
champion,
pure championship. Like
body of work is like flawless almost. So if you're saying Daniel Bryan is like your best wrestler in the world, it's not crazy to say. Even of all time, it's not crazy to say.
If we do a Mount, this would be for me since we here. This is fun. This is what a podcast is. Like fuck it. Yeah. What the week that was, y'all watch wrestling. Man. Okay. This is how we make our niche and be different. If we doing Mount Rushmore, 4 spots, okay? Showman, technician, draw,
character.
Who's your Mount Rushmore?
We've done this before on this podcast. I told you for character is Undertaker. For technician, I always go with Brett because I think his psychology is second to none. For showmanship, it's Shawn Michaels. Some people say Ric Flair. I go with Shawn Michaels. And then for draw, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, if you think about it, he drew the most at a time that I think that if you compare it to what John Cena did, I mean, he might be up there too, but John Cena was a different era, But if you scale it like with inflation, I don't know John Cena making more money than Stone Cold. Like that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And I would say character will be Ric Flair. The Nature Boy Ric Flair as a character, I mean, he lived the goddamn gimmick. Like that character never. That character, and I can understand how Taker can honestly get that. You know what I mean? His character is the evolution, the growth of it all. You know what I'm saying? Having this conversation about technician and best wrestler, I gotta take Brian Danielson over Brett. Even with the psychologist, like last night, right? Yeah. The what he's willing to put his body through, right? Hey, my body told me no. I told my body yes. And ever since I told my body yes, we're going to push that bitch to the limit. Right? That nigga has not took his foot off the gas since he went to fucking India on ayahuasca to get somebody to say, yeah, you can wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga has just been full throttle. And psychology is that like my mental is like, I'm not going to quote unquote work smart, even though I can. Mm-hmm. I'm going to work to what what it is, the story I'm telling, the character I'm building, blase, blase, blase. You know what I'm saying? Rick character, Danielson, Brian Danielson, technician. Draw is tough for me because The Rock.
The Rock is close.
I know. I mean, but I'm gonna be.
If anything, he's one of the best showmen of all time. I'll tell you right now.
Which was what I was gonna. Which is what I was bouncing back and forth. Was like, show me. You know what I'm saying? Because the only reason I say draw with Rock, and I might pull that back, is because during a time where you was talking about Austin, it got to a point where we kind of knew what it was, right? It's like Austin was Billy Joel at some point, nigga. He was just hitting notes, nigga. It was no new wrinkle in that motherfucker. It was toss me a beer stunner, flick him off stunner, like it was. But
if he can do that, drink a beer and draw money, like, and you see 316 like through the entire crowd with signs and T-shirts and skulls. Like the way The Rock didn't have that fever pitch of Brahma bulls everywhere. Like, he did it. Like the Stone Cold is a different thing, different beast. He's kind of like
doing the eyebrow though.
He did, but that cost no money to do an eyebrow. I don't make no fucking money. Ooh.
I can't.
He's a huge star, one of probably the biggest star of wrestling ever to become a celebrity, and probably will always be. So The Rock did his own thing as far as just a human celebrity outside of wrestling.
I definitely believe that. Stone Cold as a draw, I would say the biggest draw in all of wrestling. I think he's overtaken Hulk Hogan in that aspect, right? When people think of wrestling, I think those are the two names, right?
Those are
Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I'm saying?
Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and John Cena. I would say he's there too. It's just he did it in a different way, and he did it for a long time. So if you talk about dollars, it's John Cena because he actually did it for so long that the dollars just go beyond, Stone Cold and Hulk
I still don't even know if the niggas outside. I think if they put an Austin 316 shirt up on the site now, that bitch is sold out. Honestly, like I don't even like they did an NFT. If they did an Austin NFT, nigga, we ain't worried about that shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, if them niggas somehow found a crushed beer can from 1998 and sold that bitch.
If it was like his first beer that he, or the beer he drank when he stunned Vince for the first time, something like that, like that's
what. Yeah, I think that shit's still going right now, nigga.
Yeah, So yeah, Stone Cold is different when it comes to the fever pitch at wrestling. The 90s, if you weren't there, it's hard to explain it to you because it was a time where wrestling, you had to be watching, you had to go to your TV on Monday and catch it. And then when you went to school the next day, everybody was talking about it. Not like some people, the teachers were even talking about it. Like that's how it was. It was a pop culture phenomenon. It was as big as MTV was at the time. It was as big as BT and all that stuff because it was like its own little subject. Yeah, I could go to school and talk about what happened on 106 in Park or TRL, but it's also wrestling. It's like you guys now we have so much media. You can go on YouTube and watch your favorite YouTuber. You can go on Netflix, watch your favorite freaking Japanese anime. You can go on wherever you want, ESPN, Disney Plus, watch. So it's like everybody has their own interest. Everybody's more like in their own box. Whereas back in the day, it
was more collective.
Everybody watching the same shit.
It was more communal.
Yeah,
and I think for the most part, well, I'm glad we got here. Speaking of communal, to kind of put a bow on AEW, I think the communal response to the Guns winning the championship in a manner of which they won it without any interference from Daddy Ass or anything like that was just like, whoa. That was a choice.
I was actually happy for that.
That was a choice.
I was happy for that bold choice they chose. Like I was really happy because everybody saw Daddy Ass turning on them, and I kind of was like, it doesn't make any sense for Daddy Ass to do that. The way things started, and how they turned on him. It didn't make any sense to me for Daddy S to then go back to his son. I get it, blood, thicker than water, and he's gonna forgive him. But we've seen this so many times before. We just saw it with William Regal. We just saw it. This. You can talk about Heyman and Brock. I feel like let's keep this thing that works together. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunner is a thing now. It just took that act to another level. Let's not just kill it after what it's been like 6-7 months, and I think that their claim got something. So would I've given them titles? I don't know, but they did it, and it's getting a reaction, and people hate these guys, and people genuinely are upset. So they're bona fide a heel tag team now, and the match wasn't too bad.
I think the Ass Boys did a great job. And
the Gun Club
and work the Ass Boys, brother. I think they did a really good job building themselves up, making themselves credible in a realistic manner. You know what I'm saying? I think the Acclaim,
absolutely.
I think the Acclaim was a great. I think the Acclaim was a great fucking testament to if you allow a thing to be a thing, it can be a thing, right? So,
it's like New Day.
Exactly. You know what I mean? If you just allow a thing, the Ass Boys was already annoying, right? They're annoying as fuck. So just cool. Let them be. They don't have to turn cool. The dad doesn't have to give them a cool rub. They don't have to do nothing. Like the gear is fire. You know what I'm saying? I think even one of them raps or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But even still, you know what I'm saying? I think their quote unquote authenticity to being annoying, right? Because I don't think they. I don't
they
think
call it X-Pac heat.
Not even X-Pac. Nah. I think like Sami Zayn opened the door for Nick. Like the people have honestly be like, "Yo, Sammy's one of the most annoying motherfuckers we know." You know what I'm saying? Like, and once we was able to put that nigga on TV, everybody then was able to understand or even draw their own conclusion or whatever. But we just knew that motherfucker that's in the back annoying us, nah, go put that nigga on TV. And I won't compare Sami Zayn to the Ass Boys, but I will say those Nepo boys in the back probably annoy the shit out of certain people. And it was like, man, if they can do that shit to us, I know they can annoy these motherfuckers. So again, building something organic, because I don't think them boys are sweet. Honestly, I don't think they're quiet. Like I don't think
so either. I think
you understand. Like I don't think that
maybe
they're reserved. I don't think they're reserved or none of that.
The shorter one seems like he has a mouth on him. The taller one might be quiet. I don't know. But what I see from them is they got to do it on their own without their daddy. And I like that they didn't just get their daddy back and have him be like their manager for the first title run. Let them develop, let them grow, and let them talk their shit. I think that the storyline has roots and truth and all that stuff. So it worked. They got to a moment and people were pissed. So do I like them as a tag team? Not quite, but they're a heel tag team. So, this could be a great way to get them some more heat and to see where this goes. What they did with the FTR, they had the funeral for them, I thought was interesting and entertaining. So when FTR comes back, they should be on that ass, So I feel like they're going to help move the tag division forward, and them being an original AEW tag team, it fits, So I'm not mad at the decision. One thing I will say is the Acclaimed aren't done yet. The Acclaimed do deserve a rematch. We'll hopefully get that at the peer-per-view, and I think maybe then you'll get a turn with Billy Gunn. I don't know, but the Acclaimed, they deserve one. They deserve to get some comeuppance on this, and I think they still got the heat and the crowd on their side. So let's see where it goes. Now, before we No, you got something to say?
No, go.
Now, before we leave AEW, I want to talk about the main event a little bit more than I did before because, yeah, obviously I get the bit spot of the night to MJF, but boy, these guys, when it comes to AR Fox, let's say, dude's special. The dude's a complete specimen, dude. I honestly want to give him a lot of praise, and not just him. All the guys, all 6 men in that ring in the main event. You got the Elite, Top Flight, AR Fox. Some of the things they do, like you're saying, you can't just like dismiss certain things that these guys would get used to, all the flips and all that stuff. Some of the stuff they do, not only is it like acrobatic, but it's a lot of stamina it takes to do the shit that they do, running back and forth and diving nonstop throughout the entire match is like insane. So like I don't even get how they still can keep their breath doing that kind of stuff. But this match, I think it didn't even hit the tip of the iceberg. Like it hasn't even touched what it can be. I want to see this match again.
Oh, we'll have it again. Did you see how they lost? Did you see how the match ended? Like,
Mhm,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like the match, like this is one of those. Whoo! Thank God we won. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a
Yes,
definitive. We
yeah.
stood out as the champions, and I think that just builds it up. I mean, because we did Booking Black Top Flight last week. Right now, it looks like that they aren't in the tag division run right now, which is fine. But
Mhm.
having them with AR Fox and the trios title, I
I
mean
loved it. I didn't
that
see it coming, but I think it fits.
it makes perfect sense too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think they all can protect each other, right? Especially as Darius is coming back and he looks great, right? Dante's a daredevil. You know, AR Fox don't mind laying it out on the line. We know the Bucks don't mind laying on the line. Kenny will put his body on the line. But I think that seniority in the ring will be able to, hey, we're gonna put our bodies on the line, but we're gonna protect each other as well. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I think
And structure the match in a way where you can, from his experience, what it takes to get over, what it takes to take this to the next level. Because we all know they're skilled and talented. Now it's about connecting to the audience, having them have that, damn, they didn't win, but we need you to win next time, like that. That yearning to see Top Flight and AR Fox come out on top. So shout out to those guys and to the Elite because they're still killing it. They're incredible. But damn, like some of the stuff they were doing, I'm like, yo, aren't you guys tired?
of course I am.
But yeah, man, Dante's fucking like Spider Man doing backflips and shit. That shit is amazing. But that's what I call him. That's my nickname for him, Spider Man.
How you get the or call that nigga Knight? No, you think he's Spider Man?
He's Spider Man, bro. Dante is Spider Man.
We might have to do a Patreon exclusive pod of of superheroes and wrestlers that we associate them with.
That's good. That's good.
That
That's good.
might. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So I was listening to the Lebertar show, right? They interviewed Seth Rollins, and just to kind of piggyback off of combining the conversations that we were talking
I
about.
was just about to say let's let Rollins too. Go ahead. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I was just about to bring him up.
Seth, they had asked Seth when he was talking about the durability of the wrestlers and going back and forth and everything like that. Dan was just like, "Yo, the athleticism that wrestling has taken to, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the scare? Like, what is it about it that kind of gets you to where you know what I mean? Like, you can perform like that. And honestly, like, Seth didn't have a real answer, but he gave insight to like we don't know, like as fans, we don't know what these people go through to make it to where they gotta go at any point in time in this fucking journey.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Dan's biggest thing about Seth is that he remembers Seth Rollins from something that Seth did 20 years ago, and when he was 19, when Seth jumped off a fat niggas, when he had a fat fan was positioned and he did a fucking jump
Moonsault?
off a moonsault off the fan's belly, and Dan is like, Now I know you did some cool shit, but that's the coolest shit I done seen you do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the coolest shit I ever seen you do. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty cool.
But Seth kind of was like, man, during that time, like I had to go to that. I had to make that spot because I didn't know if I was who was going to be there, what opportunities were there. And he was like, when I did it, there was no internet, and I had no idea it was going to be seen. I just did it and knew that a couple people that had DVDs that traded was going to see it or whatever the case may be. Like at that point, like so we talk about Steen, Generico, Tyler Black, Brian Daniels, those guys, bro. Before they were who they were to where we even knew they was at in Ring of Honor and all that shit, them niggas had broken bones and broken nose and broken jaws and shit like that, and still had to go to work and drive 9-10 hours to make spots and lose money on the investment on themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to get again to for AR Fox, right? We don't know this motherfucker journey.
Yo,
So
we don't, but we know he's been through everywhere. He's been through every promotion and never made it to TV. I think this is Impact he did his thing over there, but now he's on national television. It's a bigger stage, and he's delivering. Honestly, like that's why I want to talk about him so much. I was happy to see him on TV.
And that's what niggas do, right? When he get there, I'm gonna give it my all, and that's why I say I like the collective, right, of the Brooks and Kenny, right? Like, yo, I know, I get it. We wanna put this motherfucker on too. We wanna burn this motherfucker down, but we need y'all to be available because we want to run this shit all over again.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We need you to run, like, you know what I'm saying, and shout out to Darius, getting these injuries, these life changing injuries, these career changing injuries under contract. To where you got somebody like Tony that has the ability or the money or the resources to get you patched up, to get you looked at, to get you taken care of. Because again, we don't know what these motherfuckers go through to get to where we see them at on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You know what I'm saying?
And just like I and not to get too personal, but I have an affinity to wrestlers because they put their body on the line for our entertainment, and they almost guarantee that they're at some point they're going to get an injury. It's like just being in the industry, it's almost like guaranteed. And I've been in a place where I've been extremely put it this way. I've been in a place where you've been stuck, where you can't do what you love because of an illness or being, or for them it's being injured, for me with being sick. And people don't understand the mental toll that takes on you, of like what happens after, because you don't know. People have come back from this injury. So like even football players, basketball players, baseball players, when they get an injury, that's why we want to see them back on the field and see them get healthy. But we want them to take their time and do it because they want to, not because of our own volition. Is like, what Darius did is more for him and what makes him happy than it is just, I want to see him do a flip and do a moonsault. And that is what I have respect for, because to get over that mental hurdle when you're injured and then injured again is a lot. And now look at him now. So I give a lot of praise to the guys who are doing this for the entertainment, but also for themselves and saying, this is what I love to do. And it takes a long time to get to where you're going.
The same way, the champion.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, bro. Again, he said beyond his wildest imagination and dreams, and when he got into the business, there was no money in the bank when he started the business. There was no, and you're like, yo, I just want to wrestle at WrestleMania. Yeah, main event WrestleMania. Like that's, Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. But when niggas make it to the NFL, like I lived my dream. I made it to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like there are very few people that was like, I'm gonna be Super Bowl MVP. That's my fucking dream. And even if that is your dream, that work, that dedication, that sacrifice, that loneliness to really be the best of the best of the best Super Bowl MVP, my nigga. That nigga Seth was like, man, that wasn't even my dream. But I cashed in my moment. I cashed in a Money in the Bank contract and won at that point the largest WrestleMania over Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, the guys, and I became the guy. I'm the guy. I'm carrying the company. I blew my fucking knee out.
Like we don't know, right? I missed the biggest WrestleMania. I was at the biggest WrestleMania, then the biggest WrestleMania of 100,000 people. First time I'm in a fucking skybox watching Triple H and Roman Reigns have my match, my match.
And that could have changed his whole career. It could have been different.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about Finn Balor. He comes his first debut against Seth Rollins, boom, gets injured, you know, tore his shoulder. And we don't know what happens after that. But the dude came back, fought back, came back, and he's doing whatever they tell him. And he's still putting on performance after performance, and he's still killing it. And who knows when he gets to the championship again. I think it will happen, but think of how many years it would have taken him by that time. So that just repetitive resilience of your mental capacity to say, yeah, this is my dream. I'm just going to keep grinding it. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. And even the bad days are going to come and the good days are going to come. But it's like, no, I'm here. I'm in it, you know, and I'm going to, you know, suck it up. So got to give it up to them. And, you know, got to give it up to Seth, you know, and, you know, speaking of Seth, you know, and injuries, you know, he had points to what he said on the Pat McAfee show about, you know, the Logan Paul, about him doing it for himself. Because if he was injured, Logan Paul, I don't think it was that serious. You know, and granted, if he was injured, hey, I'm not trying to say he wasn't, but if he had a torn ACL, UCL, all that shit, he wouldn't have been at the Royal Rumble. And I think that's what I think about. If he's lying about the injury, that's what I think about when Seth says, oh, he does it. He's a man who's doing it for himself. He's here to leech off of the business, you know, get some sympathy and make it to Royal Rumble.
No, I'm not hearing that, bro. Bad Bunny ain't hitting the fucking road, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bad Bunny come and do a spot. Like, we not finna put Logan Paul's a heel. Seth Rollins doing a bit. You know what I'm saying? I have no doubt in my mind that Logan Paul, I'm not gonna say he's Pat McAfee. I'm not gonna say that his lifelong dream was to be a wrestler and he built a wrestler, but I am gonna say that and listen, please, I am not no motherfucking Logan Paul lap boy or apologist or any of that shit. What I am gonna say is I seen the nigga put in the work. I think boxing and wrestling is similar to the point of like you can't half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? Let's just say all combat sports. You know what I mean? And I think Seth did have a point. Like, yo, an NFL player can't come off the street and play in the NFL. Granted, yes, but also a nigga who's not trying can't go and have a wrestling world championship match with Roman Reigns. We talk about it. There's no timeouts. There's no water breaks. There's no teeth. Right? There's no. That nigga had to train and condition his body to go 20 minutes with the.
I'll say this.
You know what I'm saying? So
if I trained and conditioned for 6 months, and then you say, "Hey, Cheaty, you're gonna go in the Super Bowl and you're gonna catch a pass in the end zone," I can do it. That's what he's doing. That's what Logan Paul's doing. He's training, and they give him a spot in one of the biggest spots of ever, like Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns. Go perform.
We didn't say that with Pat. Hold on, we didn't say that with Pat McAfee, bro.
Wait, what do you mean?
Pat went and Adam Cole at the point in time in NXT. We thought that he was floundering. We didn't know where he was going. We didn't know he was getting caught up. We didn't know he was leaving. But Adam Cole, and then all of a sudden, Pat McAfee come with them boys, or whatever the fuck. We're like, what the fuck is this? Pat McAfee and Adam Cole, they about to have a match? What the fuck is this, bro? I can go back. I can pull apart. I know it. We did. We gave, but Pat proved himself. Yeah, they did the little montage and shit.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Pat is catching the pass in the end zone too. It's the same shit. To me, Bad Bunny, Pat McAfee, Logan Paul are the same thing. I'm not gonna go far and say that they're leeching off the business. I think that Seth is doing, he's building an angle.
Yeah, he's doing work.
When he says that, for sure. But one thing that I thought about was like, this injury wasn't all that serious. I really want to know the story behind that injury that he had at Crown Jewel. I want to know.
But does it matter?
I mean, after everything we just talked about, these guys putting their body on the line and people actually having injuries and not knowing if they can come back and do things they love, if he's using an injury to get social media clicks and then just like, yo, it's gonna be great when I return, it matters to me.
It's an injury angle like they do in every other wrestling. Like, what are we? No.
Okay,
Man.
maybe it is. Maybe it is.
I
Maybe
mean,
it's a little.
listen, I can't. Okay.
Maybe I'm
So,
thinking too deep into it.
I would say, listen, Logan Paul ain't getting no new fucking fans from wrestling. Right? Me and you, niggas not tuning in. The only time niggas is tuning into the podcast of wrestling fans is with wrestling niggas is on the podcast. Like Logan Paul, if you was a fan of Logan Paul, you was a fan of Logan Paul. Logan Paul didn't pop up on WWE. Like, man, let me see what this nigga Logan Paul is talking about. You know what I'm saying? So
I do think his crossover is getting more publicity. Absolutely, I think that crossover, especially not for grown ass men, especially for kids who don't know Logan Paul, and they're like, oh my god, he did that cool thing with Ricochet. Oh my god, he took a selfie and jumped off. That was so awesome. You know, like that kind of stuff appeals to teenagers and kids who are gonna go and watch his podcast. And like, oh, I didn't know this.
I'm gonna tell you one thing: ain't nobody buy a Bad Bunny ticket because they saw this nigga at wrestling. Niggas went to go see Bad Bunny because they fuck with the Lata Bidinino. They fuck with Bad Bunny.
But if your girl wants a Bad Bunny ticket, you're a little bit more inclined to get it because you saw him on Raw. Like that's my thing. It's like, oh, you know what? That's a you know,
bro, if I can't understand the music, I ain't going. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So I just
but if your girl doesn't want Bad Bunny tickets though, I'm saying that you might go if your wife wanted.
I'm gonna tell you this: the only thing that literally, honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. I hear you with the crossover appeal. It goes both ways. I think
it does.
I think WWE. I think WWE got more from the Logan Paul thing than Logan Paul got from WWE. Just to be flat out, point blank, period. Just like I think, as WWE allows Pat McAfee to do what the fuck he wants on commentary,
not even he wouldn't even have access to some of these wrestlers to have on his podcast. You know, like you think about it's more than just him coming out and doing a match and that's it. He gets a lot of connections and networking from this too. There's more to it.
Yeah, just like the Migos did when they performed at the day one show. Like, yeah, we go back. If you're
not the same thing, go ahead.
Why isn't it the same thing? Hold on. Celebrity is celebrity. Access is access. Let's just cut that out, right? Like the first, like Logan Paul, celebrity, did not get him access to like, yo, I want to try wrestling. No, Logan Paul's already athletic feats and abilities. Like again, Bad Bunny and Pat McAfee is closer to each other than Logan Paul and Bad Bunny than Pat McAfee is, because the story that they told of Bad Bunny was like, yo, huge wrestling fan growing up or whatever the case may be, yada, yada, yada. Logan Paul, I think, talked his way like a YouTuber has done his right. That's what I'm saying. Like Steph said, he's a hustler, right? Just like he talked himself into a bro. I can talk shit all I want. Floyd Mayweather ain't giving me $20 million to get in the goddamn ring with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he ain't going to
because our subscribers aren't as high. If it was because our subscribers aren't as high. If they were, he would take it. You'll take it. Trust me.
I'm gonna be completely honest though too. That's what you said, but that goes back to the point.
No, you're right. I hear where you're going from.
If Floyd or if Roman, the two apex of the company, don't think I can handle it, I don't even get that look, right? Because there's plenty of people. Like if they don't think that if Floyd look at Logan's like, yeah, I'm going an hour, nigga. I ain't gonna knock you out, but you gotta go 3 minutes. I'm going 12 rounds. We're going an hour. You talk your shit, and you gotta back that shit up, nigga. If right, Logan, that's dedication to my craft. Because again, like you say, the crossover works. I think people are tuning in to see Logan Paul get his ass whipped by Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather, the marketing genius like WWE that he is, he gonna sell a fight regardless. So it's a match made in heaven. I would say this though. When you talk about these celebrities and the care that they have, and I would tie it to this. If Logan Paul was using an injury angle he garnered a lot of sympathy in that Roman Reigns match. And I don't even remember the story of how he got that fucking match with Roman in to begin with.
It was just announced,
No,
at
I
the
you
press
know
conference.
he had did some shit, right? He had
Nah, it wasn't. It was he. I mean, he mentioned Roman. He had it for actually. He had a podcast Roman Reigns before that. They would never talked about it, and then, um, yeah, he's like, yeah, I think I can face Roman Reigns after the pod, and that was it. And then they made a match for Crown Jewel. Like that was. They had a press conference about announcing Roman's new competitor. It was going to be Logan Paul.
and I'm gonna
You
be
know,
and just to be clear, right? It's a throwaway match at a throwaway event that you didn't want to waste any real competitor, considering the story that they told, right? Or the
I
story
want
that
to make something clear real quick though. I'm not saying that they shouldn't use Logan Paul. I'm just saying that if this injury was faked, that's fucking whack. But if it's an injury angle, that's different.
what's
But
the
you think
difference?
I think that's lying to get social media sympathy because of your injury and saying, yeah, I went out there with Roman Reigns and all this shit happened. It's kind of corny. That's just me.
I
It
mean,
maybe it's part of the hustle, and I just don't
I
get it.
mean, I mean, this is where I think our character comes in because I'm lying to get out of work. I'm sick, my head hurt, I got a doctor's appointment, back hurt, my kid's sick, wife's sick. Somebody's like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like that's not the unethical thing that we're talking about, though. I think that if Logan Paul is playing a quote unquote character, a guy that's not supposed to be in the ring with Roman Reigns, and Roman takes care of him, and is like, as long as you can uphold your end of 25 minutes, I'll take care of you, make your shit look nice, make your shit look crisp. Logan Paul can come out of there and be like, I ain't no wrestler. My knee fucked up. I think I tore something. My neck. Nigga, the niggas did the podcast in the neck brace like Pete Gas and the niggas from Main Street Posse. It was an angle the whole time.
I didn't see that.
Them niggas after the Crown Jewel did a fucking podcast in the neck brace and the fucking looking like Longhorn Foghorn and that motherfucker. Nigga,
We're like, yeah, I got you. All right, but like now, granted, you think that that's just perfectly fine, and the people who are out there who are having real injuries and like Logan Paul gets to play wrestler, you think that's
considering the fact that I don't really know if Hangman, considering the fact real life, considering the fact that Hangman, we don't know why Hangman was taken off TV, but when he came back, he said it was depression the first time. The second time when he got taken off TV, it was concussions. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if like or I mean, right? You look at Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle got taken off on an injury angle. That thing ain't rehab. You know what I'm saying? Like I can.
To me, okay. You know what? You're right. At the end of the day, if you think that they're saying Matt Riddle being taken off for an injury angle is equivalent to Logan Paul tweeting all that shit and posting that he got injured and then putting neck brace onto a podcast, then fine.
I mean, they both result in angles. Did they not? Like I mean, at the end of the day, I do want to get to a point. I'm not right or wrong, right? I mean, when you was like, I think it's full of shit. I just want to know, like, why do you think it's full of shit if it's like literally an angle? You know what I'm saying? Like
then it's full of shit. I said I just want to know. That's all it is. I just don't know. I think there's and maybe it's a work. Maybe I'm being worked at the end of the day. So I'm cool with that. At the end of the day, we're gonna get Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. That was just a really good, segue because we're talking about injuries. But yeah,
I do want to. I mean, not necessarily was talking about injuries. We started off by saying like you said that Seth had a point, and he was like Seth had a point with Logan not caring for the business. I mean, I would say
I don't know if he does. Honestly, I don't. I think that Logan has learned to respect it more than he previously had. I don't know who Logan Paul is. I'm not sure how he is backstage. I'm not sure how he sees himself, and maybe he thinks this is his calling. Maybe he found something with it. I'm
not gonna fucking rub. Like I'm not you. I'm not yelling at you or yelling at. But my thing is, Who cares if he's getting a rub from the business? Especially if he's doing like Bad Bunny, if he's in Orlando, if he's training every day, if he's working with niggas, like you know what I'm saying, if he's getting this if he's getting himself clearly in shape enough to where he wrestled.
Listen, I came out here
and then
on this podcast after WrestleMania,
fucking
and after I came on this podcast after WrestleMania, after Crown Jewel, and said, "Listen, dude is a star. He's made for this. You know, he's in shape. He has the look. He has the charisma to do it." So I'm not the one saying that he shouldn't. I'm not saying he shouldn't do this. You feel me?
Right.
You know, but if other people are saying that, then yeah, shame on them. Obviously, the guy's proven that he can do what he can do. Now,
I think what Seth is also saying is like, if you're gonna be committed to the business, be committed to what it is that we do. But my thing is, he's not. He's like, that's what I'm saying. And Pat McAfee's like, yo, like, again, calling wrestling and wrestling. I don't know what the difference is, but they are both important. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pat's like, nigga, it's football season, bro. College football hit me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm out. Logan Paul's like, nigga, I'm Logan Paul. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I ain't. We still don't know what the fuck or who Logan Paul is. Just like Bomani told that nigga, like, who the fuck is you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know. But realistically, that is the cachet that he has, right? I think that's the ability that he brings because of his celebrity. It's almost like Brock. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can say Brock doesn't care for the business because he's. I know, right? I mean, but that's been said, right? Because he's not there every week. He doesn't show up. He had the title hostage for a year.
That's an old narrative. That's like when he had a title and he was just gone for months. I mean, that's been now. It's been years since that, and he's come back plenty of times. He's been around for months at a time, you know. So I can't say that about Brock. I didn't even expect to see him on Raw 30. You know, I was shocked. You know, I popped. You know, so I was like, yo, right. And I didn't expect to see him on freaking Raw this week. You know, calling out Bobby, to be honest with you. So so you know, he's building these angles. As long as you come in, you build a story and you have a good match and you have a payoff. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I think at the end of the day, like you said, boxing and wrestling is very similar, especially when you get to big time shows like WrestleMania and Crown Jewel and like that, SummerSlam. It's about, all right, let's make the house as big as possible. How do we do that? Exactly. You know, and then they'll get somebody who's a star, or whether their stars are in house or outside of house, they're going to try to make the biggest match possible.
But this goes back to our biggest griping. We talked about, again, we've had this conversation on the podcast before, celebrity usage, right? Now, do you think that this celebrity usage is beneficial for Seth Rollins? Is this a great usage of Seth Rollins at this point? Or like,
as you said,
people will complain about it. We'll find a reason to complain about it. You know what I'm saying?
I think Seth, after Roman, like after Roman says, I'm going to work with this guy and I'm going to do this match and everything like that, and he does a great match with him, nobody on the roster can say nothing at this point. Like, nobody on the roster can say, I'm not going to work with Logan Paul.
Right.
And I think if Seth understands the business, which I think he does at this point, he's a vet.
He knows he's in a big spot with Logan Paul.
He knows he's in a big spot. Yeah, he knows
spot with Logan Paul. Yep.
You know, I think that even what Sammy did last year with you know,
Jackass
at WrestleMania, even though going into it, I was very skeptical about it. It ended up being one of the best matches of the year, low key. You know, and he found a way to make it great.
And so it catapulted Sammy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that if you are a great professional wrestler, you can take anything that's given to you and make it good. And I think Seth can look at this as a challenge, or it might be even easier for him because he looks at it as like, oh, I can do some cool work with Logan Paul. I can do some cool shit, you know. So who knows? And actually, I'm curious. I'm more excited to see this match than Roman and Logan, honestly, because of the athleticism both men bring. Like seeing what Ricochet did with Logan Paul at the Royal Rumble, that shit was stunning, yo. That was one of the most stunning spots of the night. And if you're not a wrestling fan and you saw that, you're gonna be, oh shit, that was cool. You know, which, you know, my sister's not a wrestling fan. She saw that, she reacted. So it's a thing where he brings something to this table, so I'm not mad at it.
Well, that's the thing. You're excited because we saw that Roman Logan Paul match, right? Miz Logan Paul versus the Mysterios didn't really give us an insight. Like, he did the normal high, celebrity jumps off the top rope, like Snoop did it, Pat McAfee did it. You know what I'm saying?
No, it did give me. No, that Miz match with Logan Paul and the Mysterios I knew immediately that this guy could do this because of the way he took his beats and the pauses in the ring. It wasn't just splashes, even though the splashes were, perfectly fine. Like they were picture perfect. The freaking the leapfrog he did, crazy. But the thing about it was how he interacted with the crowd, how he took time to taunt, how he took time to gather that heat in the ring. It was awesome. So that after that match, I had a lot of respect for him going forward. So yeah, there's I'm looking forward to it, honestly. So Logan Paul, he's fine in my book as far as being a WrestleMania attraction. Damn, he's coughing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Smoking that gas. I'm
Yeah,
smoking on that Joe Burrow. Smoking on that Joe Burrow.
All right. Moving on. And what are you thinking about the other shows of the week? I know we talked about Seth. We just mentioned Bobby and Brock. That promo Brock had.
We can kind of talk about. I mean, we already called it. Like we've been called it back at Royal Rumble last year, not this year. Last year when we had Bobby and Brock, we was like, that's WrestleMania. That's trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Like we called that, or was that Royal Rumble or whatever, SummerSlam, whatever the fuck they
That was Royal Rumble, I think. Yeah, you're right. But here's what I would say.
Because we had my nigga Sebastian on. He wanted who he wanted to win the Royal Rumble? Who was it? Bobby Roode? Oh my god!
I need to go back and watch that clip.
No, yeah. I think that's where honestly that's when we was like, yo, if that's the only motherfucker watching, bro, we might as well just, you know what I'm saying? I think that's when we started calling. I think that's when they got like real lax after then. Like, we was motivated. Yeah, we was doing show. Hold on, let's pause. Shout out to my nigga Sebastian. My nigga,
shout out to Sebastian.
But when we was doing 3 shows a week for y'all niggas, right? We was doing reasonable debates. We was doing reasonable retro reviews. Then we was doing the week that was. Like, we was really trying to get involved in this podcast game. And we was, putting in time trying to figure out how we was going to edit through motherfucking, edit on fucking YouTube, because they ain't like us using the clip. We was like, we just want to put out good content. And the only person I was supporting, shout out to my nigga Sebastian. That nigga Sebastian, Ray, and Rich faithfully was tapping in. And we did a Royal Rumble live. We was like, this is gonna be the kickoff. We're gonna do some shit. My nigga hopped on and he was talking. He was the only one talking to it because y'all niggas wasn't talking right now. Y'all niggas not talking to it. Y'all not tapping in. My nigga Sebastian, he was like, yo, who you want to know in the Royal Rumble? My nigga said Bobby Roode. We was like, what? It's our fan base. It's our fan base.
Reasonable,
this
right?
is our fan base, right? And then my little nephew, only thing he care about is Liv Morgan, this little horny ass. You know what I'm saying? This nigga want Liv Morgan to win everything. So I got Sebastian and Jameer as my fucking audience. You know what?
Lord.
I don't know if this business model podcast is going to work itself out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, if y'all made it into an hour and 20 minutes in the show, I heard this joke. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man. But anyway. Oh man, but yeah, man. So yeah.
Yo, where is Bobby Roode, man? I can't wait till he comes back. Shit. We need Bobby Roode under the guides of Triple H. We need him under the tutelage of Triple H, honestly, and see what he can do.
I mean, to be honest, that would be fire.
Get back to Glorious. That should be fucking hell.
But as far as the shows go, I wouldn't say like Bobby and Brock was okay. I mean, how many times? How many times?
No, my point was was that the only difference I see that this one, I don't want it to just be a regular match. I want it to be some kind of like cage fight, some freaking Lions Den fight. I want that to be the stipulation. I'm not sure if they're going to do it. I'm not sure if they're permitted to do it, but being that they both have a mixed martial arts background, I think it's only fitting to have that WrestleMania raise the stakes for the match. We've seen them have single matches in the past, and that'll be a cool spectacle to see at WrestleMania. Bobby and Brock and people saying, they're really gonna fight. Yeah, they're really gonna fight. They're gonna slap. So they're gonna box. So I think that'll be dope for a spectacle of WrestleMania.
Shit, you ain't never lied, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do want to talk about something else that happened on Raw. That Cody and Paul Heyman promo. Everybody's talking about it. It was a good piece of business. It was really good. It was a really good piece of business.
It was a good story.
It was a great story. It was a great story.
I mean, on one promo, they brought things together. In one promo, they gave a vision for a story that could be told towards WrestleMania between Roman and Cody. Although they did kind of bypass Sami Zayn in that promo by assuming he's going to lose Elimination Chamber.
Well, he is.
I mean, yeah, but they kind of disrespected him at the end of that promo.
I mean, okay. What?
Don't get like that.
Go.
They kind of disrespected. I'm just saying that continuity wise, we all know what's going to happen. But for those who are invested in the Sami storyline, I think that bypassing him in that promo. Even if Cody said at the end of it, like, I'm gonna take it from him personally if he makes it, that would have been enough to like give that like a reasonable doubt, But at the end of the day, it was a stellar promo.
I love y'all naivete, my nigga. Like y'all niggas love y'all. So listen, man.
How was that naive?
I mean, there is no reasonable doubt with Sammy and Roman, and I would say this.
Why even have the match? That's what I mean. Like, if you're telling a story on television, if you're watching, if your fans are out to watch Raw and SmackDown, even if everybody knows when I'm watching The Walking Dead, this guy's gonna die at some point. I'm not going to say, hey, you know what's going to happen? This guy's going to die like 10 episodes before it happens. I'm going to let you guys watch it happen, play out, even though that you might think it's going to happen. If the girl, the cheerleader, and the third string quarterback have a love romance, but there's a love triangle, I'm not going to say, hey guys, they end up together in the first act. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you guys watch the movie and see how it plays out, and then boom. But that's what I feel like they did. They gave us the pay. They already said Sammy's losing pretty much.
Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with Sammy losing when the fact that Cody cut the promo and was like, I'm going for even after Friday. Sammy's emotional. I want the Universal Championship. That's him emotionally saying, I'm going to take something that matters to you.
Yeah.
That's why Roman agreed to. Is like, man, that shit don't matter to me. I ain't losing that. I want my family back. That's what I got. That's if we talk about a story. That's why he accepted it. Roman told it in himself. Roman saw Cody win the and he knows it's Cody. He knows it's Cody and Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Roman doesn't have to take this match for the championship. Roman can be like, yo, I can fight you. You know what I'm saying?
So here's what we make it all better.
We can get it in.
We're taking away from the promo, which is great because we don't got to get into the weeds of it all. But it was a great promo. I don't want to take away from that. Here's what I would like.
I was saying ties. I'm sorry, but go ahead. Go ahead.
If Sammy comes out on SmackDown and he's like, everybody's acting as if it's a foregone conclusion, and I'm gonna be in my hometown, and he cuts a passionate promo saying, Cody's counting me out, Paul's counting me out, Roman's counting me out, you better not count me out. And it gives that little bit of doubt, like, oh, can he, saying there's a chance. That's all you need to make it a fever pitch in Montreal. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I want Montreal, and it's probably gonna blow off the roof anyways with him being there, but I want the match, all those near falls, to be just as impactful as if you're watching this match and WrestleMania is like 5 months down the line. So that's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I don't know.
Because if WrestleMania was 5 months down the line, we can look at this and like, Sammy has a chance. You know, if it was like a year or maybe let's say put it 8 months down the line. If this match was back in May, or if this match was back in SummerSlam or whatever it may be, you could say, okay, Sammy has a legit chance to beat Roman here. But since Cody is right around the corner, we're like, oh, we already know the finish, So that's what I'm trying to say is how you tell a story.
But I again, let's go back to the Logan Paul Roman Reigns, right? We knew the end of the story. We knew Logan Paul. Everybody was like, it's one lucky punch, one lucky punch, one lucky punch. That's
not the same to me. And I get you. You got a point there. But the Sammy thing has been building for like 7 months, Joe.
Yeah.
So at this point, that
Sammy
gives credence for there possibly to be a reason for this guy to change the titles here.
But Sammy was okay. I'm not dismissing that.
Okay.
It's the story of Sammy building for 7 months has only been relevant
because the guy's been out for 7 months.
Right? I don't believe that.
You think that if Cody was around, that Sammy wouldn't have
absolutely.
heat? Oh, hell no. You can't do that to my boy.
No, I'm telling you, they're not telling that. Just look at the trajectory of where the story was, of where they were at with Hell in a Cell in that time frame in the bloodline. And
they
just
could have had Cody and Roman.
They
right now.
They would have cut Sammy
not necessarily. I'm even more along the lines of you might even get Sammy and Roman at WrestleMania if Cody's here. And here's the reason why. Cody would have probably faced Roman at SummerSlam. Hear me out. He probably would have faced Roman at SummerSlam. After that Hell in a Cell match, he was freaking pitch fever hot. Who's Cody facing at SummerSlam if Randy Orton gets injured? Who? But Roman. He's the only person that he can face.
But that's the thing. Randy wasn't hurt either at the
He was hurt. That's why we got freaking. That's why Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle were going back and forth. There was no Randy anymore. There was by SummerSlam, Randy was gone.
I know, but I'm okay. I know.
After that Usos tag match,
let me go Hell in a Cell. Let me do Hell in a Cell. Filibuster for me right now.
Listen. Randy Orton got injured in the tag match where him and Matt Riddle got defeated by the Usos, and they became the undisputed tag team champions back in like July, and Randy was gone. I thought that we probably would have gotten
Hell in a Cell was June of 2022. Okay. What I'm telling you is Cody was not main event Cody ready.
After he beat Seth Rollins, if he beat Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell and he wasn't injured, you think that he wouldn't be main event ready?
No, that's
three times in a row.
No. I mean, yes, 3 times. I mean, 3 times. Yes. Okay. So let's go. Let's. Okay. Hell in a Cell was. Okay. Damn. The Bloodline wasn't even on this show. Or Roman or none of that was on this show.
They were the main event, Cody and Seth. So he's main event already.
Oh yeah, he was. He was main event in Seth, brother. Okay, I think the next pay-per-view is July. It's Money in the Bank.
He's at the cover of the freaking artwork. It's Cody. It's not Seth. It was Cody at the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Yes, bro. Yes, he was the cover because
he was main event. My thing, he's box office at that point. That's undisputed. He came back with a big fanfare WrestleMania. He was box office from that point forward.
He's not Roman box office coming in. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro.
That's why you have him beat Seth 3 times in a row. By the time SummerSlam comes around, he's there. Especially if Randy Orton's injured. And then you have Sammy and the Bloodline build and build and build. He might even beat Roman. Who knows? I don't know. But that's how I see things playing out if he didn't get injured. I could be wrong. Obviously, we'll never fucking know. But I'm saying there's an argument to be made that things are different in the way that, and Sammy still gets just as hot. That's my point. Is that Sammy and this whole Bloodline thing, yeah, would have been a little bit different if Cody was around, maybe. But then again, Cody's on Raw, so maybe not.
But this is what I'm okay. Sammy doesn't have this fucking fanfare back in July, bro.
No, not in July.
But that's what we're talking about. We're talking. Okay,
we're talking about WrestleMania. Like this time, will Sammy be here by this time?
No. Okay. Let's let's take a step back. Let's take a step back. WrestleMania last year, Sami Zayn was wrestling Johnny Knoxville. He wasn't in the blood. He wasn't doing anything in the bloodline. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Just follow the course of just the timeline. You're trying to tell me that if Cody was there, Sami was a comedy fucking act. 2 months prior to Cody ripping his fucking peck off the muscle. So Cody and Sami was not even on the same stratosphere. So yes, if you want to say Cody was box office, yes. And didn't nobody give a fuck about Sami. And those two things at the same time existed. True.
Back a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. Yeah, it's true.
And it's not even a year ago. It's
you know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm in 7, yes, Chidi, in 7 months since
can you
Cody,
get Sami hot enough?
That's exactly what just happened. That's what I'm
exactly.
tell you.
So my point is that why can't this happen if Cody is there? I'm on that side. Like you're saying that it wouldn't happen if Cody is there.
Bro, like, they would have built Cody for 7 fucking months to be
while this whole bloodline thing with Sami is going on SmackDown. It could be exactly the same. They could be simultaneously happening, bro. That's my point to you. It's not impossible. The same way that we're seeing Bobby and Brock on Raw right now, and people want to see that match. You could just as easily want. I'm just saying, bro. It's not impossible.
Cheaty. Bobby and Brock from okay. Oh my god!
Because Bobby and Brock, this one's different.
No, bro. No, stop. I'm just trying to stop. You're trying to prove your point, and it's not making sense.
You're not understanding it.
Okay, all right. I'm not understanding. You're right. You're talking about Cody's fucking box office. You're telling me he's on the fucking poster. Okay, let me calm down. You're telling me Cody's box office. You're telling me Cody's fucking main event. You're telling me Sami was not intricate in the bloodline. You're reversing hit. You're using reverse history.
Can I say something really quickly?
Sami Zayn. Go. Yeah. You've been saying it. Go ahead. Because I've been listening. Go ahead.
I'm aware.
Go ahead.
That Sami wasn't in the bloodline when Cody got injured. Just make that very clear. I'm very aware of that. Now, what I'm saying has nothing to do with July. It has nothing to do with July.
It has everything to do with July. I'm telling you that I'm telling you is Roman Reigns, when Cody Rhodes came back at WrestleMania, you know how they do it, bro. You know it's WrestleMania to WrestleMania. You know how they do it. We just talked about a Seth. Seth won in San Jose, and he was going to take it from WrestleMania to WrestleMania to Dallas. It was going to be Cody and Roman from WrestleMania Dallas this past year that me and you was at. It was going to be Cody and Roman. It was going to build those two up to this WrestleMania. And I'm hearing you. I'm listening to you, and I'm telling you, if Cody was there, Sami would have gotten the fucking boot. There was no building of Sami.
That's disrespectful to Sami for one. Two,
there's no building.
There is, man. First of all, it's not like Sami just disappears off the face of the earth. For one, he's going to be on SmackDown.
Yes, but
he's already gone through the whole United States Championship thing. At some point, him and Roman would have had a collide or had some kind of interaction. It ended up happening this way. I don't think it happened this way just because Cody's not here.
Yes.
1, 2. If Daniel Bryan can go from one WrestleMania to losing in 6 seconds to the next WrestleMania being, it being YesLMania with him holding both titles, it can happen for anybody, including Sami, who's just as who's extremely talented, as we can see. You just said yourself the Jackass match. It gave him a boost. So what he could do with the guy from Jackass, you think they would have given him the boot? No, it would have been just as entertaining as he's been the entire time. So at some point, him and Roman are interacting, regardless of Cody being around or not. They're not going to keep him apart just because Cody Rhodes is on Raw and he's not injured. Let's just get that out the way. Go ahead.
The affirmation that we have for Sami Zayn is only this way, Chidi, because of the build of the last 7 months. The only reason why this build has been so intricate in the last 7 months because there isn't a baby face that can take the place of Sami Zayn. That baby face was hurt. That's why the build.
We can agree, disagree.
Well, I mean,
But, yeah.
okay, so go. I'm honestly, bro. Like, I'm not saying they give him the boot. He don't get fired, my nigga. But Sammy's not. Sammy's not an intricate part of the blood. He don't last as long as say Uzi and shit like that. It's not.
I want you to know something for a second.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
If you're saying the plan is Cody Rhodes and Roman at WrestleMania, you know, and you can just skip over, you know, possibly there being a SummerSlam, you know, maybe they do Drew McIntyre or something, whatever it may be. Let's skip over SummerSlam. Cody is going to win the Royal Rumble. They knew this since last WrestleMania. He's going to face Roman at WrestleMania. Let's say that's what they said. Because mind you, we all know plans change anyways, regardless. But let's say that's what
SummerSlam ended up. SummerSlam
ended
up being Roman and Brock again. That's what SummerSlam ended up being again.
So let's say that's what they had planned. Why wouldn't Sammy be in the bloodline? If the entire time Sammy is on SmackDown and they're using that roster to make, you know, Roman's reign and Pana's reign. So at some point, they are coming together. Whether it be Sammy just getting an L, if he gets a quick L, then yeah, maybe you're right. That's the only other way I can see that you being correct that this one will happen, is that Sammy and Roman actually have that match that he got screwed out of, and you know he takes an L to Roman on the, you know, and he goes to another division or whatever, maybe, or a tag division, who knows. But my point is, he did everything he did last year in the mid card, had this great match at WrestleMania with Johnny Knoxville. Some people calling it match of the night. All that shit was happening. It was super entertaining. He then, I'm just saying, people loved it. You know, some people like that goofy shit. You know, but it was fun. It was a fun match. Like it did what it needed to do for WrestleMania. Move on from that. You think he's going right back to the mid card, or he's going to the tag division? I believe that what he did up until that point was, you know, you're still doing I'm the locker room leader thing, and eventually him as the locker room leader would have organically clashed with Roman at some point, and that's either going to be in a match, or that could have been just like it was without, because Cody's on Raw. It could have been exactly the same way. Vince still has his scandal. Triple H still comes into power. They still let things breathe a little bit. Paul Heyman's still involved, which he also is like bringing his own mind to the angle, and things organically evolved. I don't see that Cody being any factor in this bloodline thing happening at all. I really don't. I think that Cody being, if you're saying that he's going to be, they already booked Cody for WrestleMania and Roman, they don't. This is SmackDown. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do from a week-to-week basis. So at some point, Sammy would have came across with Roman, and something would have organically grown from there. So there's no, it wouldn't happen.
But
that's not true.
But okay, but that never negates my point to where you say that Sammy never gets this fever pitch. Like, even if I just looked it up, Sammy joined the bloodline May 27th of 2020. May 27, 2022, right? Where he came in, and I'm assuming he asked to be the bloodline and got it. So we talking about May 27, 2022. What I'm telling you is that Sammy is, without a shadow of a doubt, a notch on Roman's belt. If Sammy and Roman, which he's going to currently be right now at Elimination Chamber. Like, again, even if Sammy, okay, so my timeline was wrong. Sammy was in the bloodline in June when Cody tears his pec to go in the Hell in a Cell. You're trying to tell me the trajectory is maybe they do Roman and Cody at SummerSlam. Okay, Roman and Cody at SummerSlam. Is it for one title? Is it for two titles? Because right now WrestleMania is for two titles. This last WrestleMania, they combined the two titles. We talking about this whole time it's split. They talking about two titles combined. So, like we said, the woulda, coulda, shoulda, shit. We can, but even if they split it, fuck it. Let's go down our booking. If they splitting it, we still fantasy booking Cody Rock in LA. So even if they take a title offer and say they do a title with Cody at SummerSlam, what I'm trying to tell you is that this Montreal fever pitch match that they still would have built for 7 months wouldn't have mattered if we knew we getting Roman and Rock at WrestleMania. There's no shout of a doubt that we're getting Sami Zayn and The Rock. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't arguing that. I was arguing basically where we're at today.
I know, but I am arguing the fact that we got Cody and Roman, and you're like, well, in the story they're telling like there's no sliver, and I'm like, well, yeah, and I'm using that comparison. Like, if it's, I'm not saying Cody and The Rock are similar, but if the story is going to be Roman is defending this title against this person at WrestleMania, any match in between, yeah, we can make the story make it fit. Drew wasn't. We thought Drew might have won the title at Clash of Castle. You know what I'm saying? No, that's the introduction to Solo. You know what I'm saying? There is nobody realistically that they bring forth to you that's not a notch on the belt that isn't going to be who they want to crown, which is going to be Cody.
And if you're looking at it from that point of view, I completely understand that. I'm not dumb. But my point is that the angle they just had on Raw, I loved it, but it didn't leave a shadow of a doubt that Sami Zayn win. At the end of the day, regardless of any pay-per-view match I book, I don't want you going into any match on my pay-per-view, even though we all know certain people are going to win certain matches. I think Austin Theory is going to win Elimination Chamber. We can talk about that in a moment. But my thing is, I don't want to put that on TV and telegraph it ever. So that's my only discrepancy with that promo. And I do believe that, whether Cody was here or not, whether he got injured or not, Sami still would have been hot.
Would you use that same logic with Apollo Crews and Carmelo Hayes? We know the outcome, we know Carmelo is going to Braun, so why have the match, right? But again, it's tough because those moments do matter. I think even though we know Sami's going to die in front of his people, the fact that he might be able to, yes, there is some people who have a slither of hope. There are some people that aren't me and you who can say I'm smart or who I'm cynical, right? There aren't people who are like that, right? There are people who can be like, yeah, we could get
it. That's what I'm talking about.
Roman and Sami and Cody. Yeah, we could get Cody and Sami. The plans can change. Right? There are people on that other side.
You can tweet it. You can see it all over the place.
But I can tell you from you and I having that conversation when you was the story, we know. Right. And I know that you said I won't put it on TV, but there is a ton of things that we will put on TV because we're trying to progress. And I think that even if the story matters, right, Sami and Roman still matters. That the story still feels, but I think at the end of the day, the results we do know.
Yeah. I'm not sitting here and saying that I think Sami has a chance to win this. So I'm not naive when I'm saying that. If I'm booking them, I'm talking about the promo and what they put on TV this week, I'm like, this is always a tweak I would have made to it, but it was a great promo. And if they go on SmackDown and Sami says, listen, everybody's counting me out, and I need, only person that doesn't count me out is y'all, and he points to the fans, they're going crazy. You're speaking
to a constituent, though, that even if they don't do that, right, you're still speaking to you, that thought, that feel, right, you're still speaking to somebody that feels that same way. You know what I'm saying? That has that, yo, so this match with Sami don't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? But in the totality of it,
it's still gonna be great.
It's gonna be Canadian Stampede matter, bro.
Yo, I can't wait for it because the standing ovation he's gonna get, even if he loses, and he deserves it all for all the work he's put in all year, and even the jackass stuff, everything. He deserves it all. Now the Usos are not gonna be there because they can't go to Canada, so only Solo can back up Roman. And I'm sure we'll probably see Kevin Owens, pop up, to help or to defend his boy or pick him up at the end, maybe,
Now, speaking of the Usos, are they going to lose tomorrow? Are they going to lose to the balded beard?
That's a good question. When I said that, Ricochet and Braun Strowman, they remind me of each other. I didn't expect them to be a tag team, but I said that months ago. He looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, oh, hold on, let me land. And the reason what I said was that they can both do things in the ring. They're both spectacle acts. I don't want to lose them. If I'm building a roster, I want a Braun Strowman on my roster. I want a Ricochet on my roster because they can do things in the ring and present things that no one other can do it. Now, seeing them paired together, didn't know it would work. And it's working. It's actually working. So I believe,
I said working like a motherfucker.
Absolutely. So that they have combination moves and all that shit. So if you're taking one of the titles off of them, I think it's a possibility. But if you're taking both of them off,
No, it's just one.
I don't.
It's one.
That's
It's just
one.
yeah, it's just the SmackDown titles.
Oh, okay. Would you look at that? Okay. All right. So this is why I say leave a sliver of a slight shadow of a doubt. I'm going into this match. I genuinely don't know. And this is what I love about wrestling when I can genuinely sit here as a smart wrestling fan, a reasonable wrestling man, and look at the match and say, oh shit, I don't know. I really it's a 50-50 for me. With all the drama going on with, Jay Uso and, all the stuff that's been going on. And then with them getting hot at the right time, Ricochet and Braun, after what they've been doing, I like the booking, put it that way. And I think that there's a possibility. I can't even say yes or no. I can't even say yes or no.
Come on, man. God damn, you'll be horrible on sports talk radio, nigga.
I will. I would. I would.
Pick a
Unless,
side,
unless,
nigga.
unless we're talking Jets, I'll be horrible. I'm gonna go with the bald and the beard. Yeah.
All right. It's on tape. All right. Now, before we get out of here, that's the only thing I care about on SmackDown to talk about. Honestly, that's the only thing I care about on SmackDown. Just that tag team match. That's it. And then Sammy and Roman. So
Yeah.
that's what I'll do. But before we get out of here, you thought that Austin Theory is gonna win Elimination Chamber. I think that Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory will eventually have a WrestleMania match. So I think that Gargano takes the title off of Theory in the Elimination Chamber. They have a really great, or Theory cheats, beats Gargano challenges him again, and have his WrestleMania moment.
Yeah. My nephew thinks that Montez is gonna win. I think it's gonna be Austin Theory. You think Gargano, and it's shadow of a doubt. Like sliver of a doubt. So if we can all have different answers on that, that's good booking right there. So um, yeah, I don't think Gargano's that guy yet. I just don't. I don't think he's there yet. And that's
I
why
think
I
Theory
go with
can get
Austin.
him there though. Theory got enough. I think Theory can get if Theory cheats Gargano out in that match. Like if they have Daniel Bryan, Kofi into the chamber match, right?
That'll be interesting.
We get the crowd on Gargano's side because yes, let's get the title off of Theory, and he wins dastardly or something like that. Cheats, like I said, like whatever. I think you build Gargano to WrestleMania. You can do that. You can do Gargano Theory at WrestleMania singles match, United States champion. I like that.
Me too.
Oscar wins. We got Oscar Bianca at WrestleMania. Like that. That's not
Yeah.
a question.
It is. It could be Liv, even though your nephew would be very happy. But that's a possibility. But I'm going to go with Oscar as well. It just makes sense to me. And Oscar deserves a moment again in WrestleMania one-on-one match. I think she's not ever felt to me like she wasn't a big deal. And I think sometimes they treat her like that, but she's that. She's serious. So I think her and Bianca can put on a really stellar match, even though they've had matches in the past. This could be a WrestleMania platform where they can do something. You know, damn. I had a business and logic segment though before we get out of here.
Okay.
Business and logic. I have AEW. They're working with Amazon. If you guys didn't know, for giving out exclusive T-shirts. So they also are dropping a CM Punk T-shirt. So this guy might be coming back. It seems like he's still doing business with AEW, or maybe it's just because he's under contract that they're throwing it out there. But there are rumors because of the T-shirt that CM Punk might become returning. I think this is a great business for Amazon and AEW, as far they do have like partnership now where you can only get these T-shirts on Amazon. So it's going to bring you to the Amazon to make an account. If you are a wrestling fan, if you are like a fanatic and you need to get everything, it's there. So check it out. And also check out eiwshop.com and get our exclusive merchandise as he's wearing over there. Everything is wrestling hoodie, which is fantastic, rumbling hoodie. So anything else that we got to talk about? There was another piece of business that you mentioned. I forgot what it was though.
Was it? Hold on, let me see.
Or was it somebody else?
Was it? Hold on, let me check the chat. A lot of NBA shit happening today.
A lot.
Now let's see, wrestling. Um. Oh yeah,
Mountain Dew paid WWE $1 million to sponsor that pitch black match. Shout out to Nick Khan.
Help a little bit with this contract. That's easy bag real quick.
Yo,
Just put all I gotta do is put some lights up. Yeah, okay, cool.
Mountain Dew is like, we'll give you $1 million. That nigga was like, Bray,
I have an
I
idea.
got one for you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're paying us this time.
hell yeah! Shout out to Nick Khan, the assassin right there, the money getter, the bag.
Have you bought the drink, pitch dark or whatever it's called?
Absolutely not. I'm not no fucking 12-year-old. Hopped up on Mountain Dew, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I actually bought today an ice cold. Damn, should I be? Fuck it. I'm gonna say what I want to say. No, I didn't buy no Mountain Dew. I bought me an ice cold Sprite. Right. I was in the grocery store. It was in the little the thing. I never really buy them drinks, bruh. I didn't get the first one. Got the second one. That bitch had the little ice chills in it. I'm like, oh, nigga, I'll pay $2.19 for this one.
What did Shannon Sharp do? Woo, boy! That was you. That was you. You took that first sip.
Bro, that shit hit, nigga. That joint hit, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Tomorrow's my cheat day. So
right, throw a bag, nigga. We don't need $1 million. Just send 1,000.
Listen, I don't even drink soda like that, but tomorrow I might have to, man. Cheat day. I'm trying to get back in shape, but I get a little something tomorrow. Have a little sugar, so I'm looking forward to it. But anything else, bro? Before we get out of here.
Nah, man, we good, man. Thank you for tapping in, man.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. That was we gonna see what's happening. We got the Super Bowl Sunday. Who you got? Before we get out of here, what's your pick?
Patrick Mahomes, boy. Pat Mahomes. Yeah.
I'm taking Jalen Hurts. I can't lose. They both black, but you know what I'm saying. I'll take Jalen. I'll take Jalen Hurts. Alabama Roll Tide. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I think he should be MVP. Honestly, he's my MVP candidate. But I just can't. I called the Chiefs a long time ago. Put it that way, to win the Super Bowl. I did, like about week 4 or 5.
I caught Eagles and Dolphins, and niggas laughed at me. I mean, if Dolphins was healthy, we could have got Eagles and Dolphins.
Yeah, they're not that guy.
Who's not that guy?
Man, Tua can barely stay healthy.
I just said if it was healthy. I just said if they healthy, bro. Hold on, Paul. I understand. I know we're gonna get out here. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to make any jokes because I'm about to make some Dolphin jokes, but fuck it.
I mean, fuck it. I'm not a Dolphins fan, but I thought the accumulation of talent, I thought the scheme really worked, which it did. I think if we're talking football, they have a defense where it's built on 2 corners. Okay, one didn't play all season, and the second one wasn't healthy. And the second one we're talking about, Xavier Howard, you paid a lot of money to kind of like be like Tre'Davious White with Buffalo, right? A lot of things that what they do is built on having 2 corners. They didn't have that second corner. They had a rookie over there in Elam. Tre'Davious White came off of ACL, and that Buffalo
excuses, man.
I
feel like, listen, I told you when Von Miller went down, your Super Bowl is over. I told you guys in the group chat, go look it up.
That's fine.
And I was right.
But what I'm saying is that my thing is if Tua is healthy, they run through the playoffs.
If the Jets are healthy, we make it to the playoffs. But it didn't happen. At the end of the day, it's just the way things roll, And at the end of the day, what happened happened.
Hold on. In the beginning of the season, deadass, you didn't pick the Jets to go to the Super Bowl. What I'm saying is that first training camp, like you say, check the group chats. I said Eagles and Dolphins because I thought those, and half of my prediction is right because guess what? Half of those were good. And I'm not using excuses. The second one was really good too, my nigga. They were 8-3.
They were really
And
good.
you did me. I picked the Raiders to make it, and that was a complete bad choice. That made no fucking sense in hindsight. Anyways, all is love, guys.
And that is
Everything is
everything
wrestling.
is there, man. A great little bow tie on the show, brother.
It's
All right,
fantastic.
man. From a Cowboys fan
That's
to
why I
the
don't bet.
Jets fan, you know what I'm saying, arguing about wrestling, like our shit don't stink. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
for
saying?
real. Yeah.
Oh man, peace.
Peace. Yo, Dak might be our quarterback next year.
Nah, I mean that's only if Tom Brady comes to the Cowboys.
Tom Brady's retired, bro. He's done.
Listen, Tom Brady was going to the Dolphins.
Yeah, and getting ownership too. He was freaking
But it was about
cheat,
it was about to be crazy.
about to cheat again. Yeah, he better get ready to cheat again, nigga.
It was about
Get out of here, Tom Brady. Good riddance. Peace out. Sayonara.
Peace. Yeah.